All in all, we have a pretty pleasant December day in the Volunteer State. The chilly rain from last night has moved on. The temps have bumped up a bit here at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, 5-8, 5-8. 54. Rip right.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Harold Landry in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And it'll be Titan football. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now,
that's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Adam Gotsis has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Foles. He finds Humphreys. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Let's go, great.
Now Foles. It's caught. Humphreys. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 18.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 16, Foles. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley, the rookie from Delaware. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Check. You're good. My 4, ready.
Breeze going to try and throw on 3rd down. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. To throw is Breeze. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Now we've got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3.
5-8. You kill.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Breeze. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
That was second down run for Murray. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Foles. That's the rookie with the catch, A.J. Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Go with 5-3. Go with 5-3.
Topper.
Yeah, go, let's go.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Foles. And this one complete to Smith. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Austin Eckler, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Running with Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 1st downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they get to the end zone real fast.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Hey, kill.
Now they'll throw with Breeze. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Harold Landry, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now Breeze. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with his 16th touchdown of the year as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Titans 14, Saints 7.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Go, go, go.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Escaping the pressure right. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Hey, keep it up.
2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan with sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
What we got? What we got? Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot.
Looking to throw. It's caught. Smith. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 12.
Now back to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. A solid run on first down.
Nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. But at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
On the ground, it's Eckler. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. They'll set up a throw. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Play action. Breeze. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because Now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Hey, my 7.
They'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
All day, just like that.
Pick.
Rush in. 58, right over there. Yeah, 58, right there. Know your job. And 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic.
They're going to try and throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Back to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Cameron Jordan in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here's Ginn. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes, we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Ready. 5-8, 5-8. 54, right, 54. Exit.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Breeze now. And this one's incomplete. Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 3rd down.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Antonio Brown. His 11th touchdown of the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Lutz good on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
That's good for 28 yards. Foles now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here is Eckler. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back now in Nashville. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. 1st down, and they stick with Eckler. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That's complete to his tight end, Ferkser. And down inside the 15 he goes. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
What we got? At the Saints 7-yard line.
Hey, check 24.
Flat. Hey, exit.
Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Foles. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Jonnu Smith with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Titans have taken the lead. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 3 at the 44-yard line.
Drew Brees, 6 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago, and that led the NFL. He'll try to deliver another one. From the 44, Brees. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 3rd and short. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Brees on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Kamara. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On play action. Now Brees. He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Eckler. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To throw, it's Brees. And he finds Cook. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Brees now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Under. Check 26. Check 26.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game tied 4th quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of time the analytics tell you to go.
And now look at him go. Past the 20. Touchdown, Titans. Austin Eckler, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give him the advantage.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Breeze. He gets it to Thomas. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. He's back to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
Ready? You ready? 54 Mike. Right here.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Breeze to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. There's Foles. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Intended for A.J. Brown. Incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore there defensively.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Big stop, let's go.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now pick up of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
59 mark.
Go with 5-3. Go with.
Now a first throw here in overtime. Got a man. It's Brown. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Foles. It's caught. Humphreys. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Now Foles. And this is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Ready. 95-56. Come on, let's go.
What can Breeze do now with his drive? Thomas has got it, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him up.
Now Breeze lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
From midfield, here's Breeze. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and that changes everything here in OT. Well, when you get that ball in OT, that's not the chance you envision, and the long field goal attempt here winds up lacking.
And you don't want to hang too much of this on your kicker, but he's going to leave you in a tough spot as well because you give your opponents excellent field position to start their first drive.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Foles. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They're going to look to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sets up 4th down.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down.
Hey, Keaton. 47's the mic, boy. 47. Smooth. 47.
Hey, watch the slant.
47. 47.
Looking to throw. He finds Humphreys. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Go.
Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often.